Hi, I'm Jim Benko, Commissioner of the U.S. Steinholding Association. We created this video to help explain the U.S. Steinholding Association official Steinholding and Maastricht-Stemmen competition rules. Like any sport, it's important for both competitors and judges to have a strong understanding of the rules. So we're going to walk through them one by one and give demonstrations of proper and improper Steinholding form.
A 1-liter dimpled glass stein with handle weighing approximately 3 pounds must be used. Steins used for each competition should be of the same brand and style and should be provided by the establishment hosting the competition to ensure consistency. These are also referred to as Maaskrug style mugs. You aren't required to use our logo stein, but if you want to make sure you have the correct 1-liter dimpled glass Maaskrug style stein, these are a safe bet. The stein must be filled with liquid up to the 1-liter line marked on the stein. The indentation around the lip of the mug shows your fill line. If you're using water, this is easy. With beer, it's a little harder, so underfill them a little, and then when the foam dies down, top them off with a pitcher. Never overfill the stein, since this negatively impacts the challenge of the sport. The stein must be gripped by the handle. During competition, the stein cannot be held by the body of the stein, with the hand through the handle, or by the bottom of the stein, or by whatever you would call this particular style of grip. The hand should always be holding the handle with a fist. The thumb may not rest on top of the stein handle, it must rest on the other fingers. It's tradition to hold your stein with the thumb on your other fingers, not on top of the stein handle. If you see a competitor with their thumb up, tell them to bring it down and make a fist. The pinky finger may be held outside of the stein handle. If positioned outside the handle, it may touch the stein handle, but it may not touch the body of the stein. Some competitors have large hands and fingers that won't fit inside the handle grip. To accommodate this, all competitors may choose to hold their pinky finger outside the handle, but the hand must still be in a fist. Using the extended pinky to prop up the base of the stein is not allowed. The stein must be gripped such that the front, the side of the stein opposite the handle, faces directly away from the competitor, extending in parallel with the arm. The stein is an extension of the competitor's arm, and the arm must always be straight. So the stein should extend outward from the hand and may not be positioned at an angle to either side. The faceplate should always face directly away from the competitor. Limited arching of the back is permitted, however only minimal leaning is acceptable. In the vertical plane, the competitor's elbow must never cross behind the back of the ankle of either foot, and the competitor's armpit must never cross in front of the hips or toes of either foot. Good posture and arching of the back and shoulders are natural parts of Steinholding, but as the shoulder weakens, the arm begins to drop and competitors lean back to keep it parallel with the ground. If the lean becomes too excessive, a strike should be issued. Keeping the arm in the same position relative to the torso but standing up straight can show this in a better way. Holding the stein this low would never be allowed when standing up straight, so it isn't allowed when leaning either. Significant forward leaning is also not allowed. Although it is rare to see this in competition, ensure the correct alignment of the armpit from the side view and issue a strike if needed. Significant leaning to the left or right side is unacceptable. The upper torso may not be noticeably angled to the competitor's left or right side, and the line between a competitor's shoulder blades should remain close to parallel to the ground. Competitors sometimes lean to one side, typically away from the arm holding the stein. This can create extra support for the holding arm as it rests against the torso, taking tension off of the shoulder. We want the shoulder to be doing the work in a stein holding match, so if you see significant lean to one side, issue a strike and get the competitor standing upright with proper posture. The stein must be held out directly in front of the competitor, not out to the side. The line between a competitor's shoulders should remain close to perpendicular with the arm holding the stein. Holding the arm out to the side makes the hold easier because larger muscles are used. A key part of the challenge of stein holding is the requirement that the stein remain directly in front of the competitor with the arm perpendicular to the chest and torso. Competitors often angle their torsos forward, leading with the holding arm. This also provides an advantage since it changes the angle of the arm relative to the body. If you see this, tell the competitor to square up their shoulders and get to the correct angle with the stein straight in front of them. The arm holding the stein must remain close to parallel with the ground, and from a side view should remain close to perpendicular with the line of the torso from the neck to the bottom of the rib cage. The arm holding the stein must be extended straight with no bending at the elbow. As fatigue starts to set in, the arms of many competitors will start to drop, and once this becomes noticeable, a strike should be issued. On the opposite end of the spectrum, particularly at the start of a match, some competitors will hold the stein significantly higher than parallel to the ground, which is also a violation of this rule. Maybe the most important part of this rule is that the arm must remain straight with the elbow locked out. Even a small amount of bending of the elbow provides a significant advantage since it takes tension off of the shoulder. As a judge, always keep an eye out for bent elbows and issue strikes when you see them. The arm holding the stein must remain separated from the chest and torso of the competitor. The chest and torso may not be used to support the arm. Make sure that competitors are not resting their holding arm against the body or crossing their arm over or against the chest. If a competitor has a large arm or large chest and they're lightly touching each other, this isn't a problem as long as the contact isn't supportive and it isn't taking tension off of the arm. The offhand should remain at the competitor's side and may not touch or support the stein or the arm holding the stein. The offhand, or the non-holding arm, may be held in a straightened position against the competitor's side, but may not otherwise be used to brace or support the competitor's torso. Once a match has begun, the competitors may not use their offhand to touch the holding arm or the stein itself to make adjustments or provide support. The offhand, or non-holding hand, also can't be used to support the torso or brace the back. If the offhand and arm touch the body, they should be held down at the competitor's side. Competitors may not contact any other structures, objects, or people during the competition. The goal of this rule is not to penalize minor incidental contact with a table or wall, for example, while a competitor is making adjustments to their posture. But stein holding is not a contact sport, so competitors should never interfere with each other or use an object or structure to support the arm or torso. Competitors must stand within their personal area and may not move more than is necessary to make adjustments, ensuring proper form during the competition. Once a match is started, competitors should not be moving around very much. We don't expect them to be completely still, but they should only move as much as is necessary to make minor adjustments and stay comfortable. If they are called out or give up, they should be asked to stay where they are so that they don't interfere with other competitors while the match is still going. If any amount of the liquid filling the stein spills or drips off of the stein, the competitor is immediately disqualified, regardless of the number of strikes otherwise assigned. Our final rule is maybe the most important of them all. Since stein holding is inspired by Bavarian beer drinking traditions, spilling any beer results in immediate disqualification. On a hot, humid day, a cold mug of beer will attract condensation though, so make sure that any spilling or dripping is coming from the liquid inside the stein and not from condensation on the outside. Here you can see how spillage can occur as a competitor shakes excessively as they fatigue, or as their grip starts to fail and the stein's weight causes it to tilt forward. As a judge, be on the lookout for both of these, because once a competitor starts to shake or their grip starts to slip, spilling isn't far behind.
We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. We hope it gives you a better understanding of the USSA competition rules and the sport of stein holding. If you have questions or want to learn more, check out ussteinholding.com for information on our state stein holding tournaments, competition locations, training tips, US stein holding merch, and more. Until next time, steins up and Prost!
For more information on competition rules, check out our judging certification page and download a free copy of the official USSA judging manual at usstein.com/judging.